I've been watching a lot of political debate programs lately, and I've noticed mainstream politicians on all sides are completely out of touch with the public on illegal immigration. Even the Conservatives are okay with putting them before the British people. There is no conviction to stop the boats, and the people's patience is wearing thin with the politicians who have contempt for them. Now, we expect the lefties to just be open borders and let millions in. But listen to this Conservative member.
Dan, let me finish. I listen patiently. Sudan, we had a statement yesterday, an urgent question on Sudan, and that is the biggest humanitarian crisis in the world now. There's going to be an outbreak of famine there. Where will these people go when they can't be fed or can't find food there and water? Climate change, which I think we may be discussing a bit later, that's going to have a massive effect on the whole of Africa. So it needs to be absolutely collaboration, not just with Europe, but wider scale as well. And Britain needs to be leading on that front. All right, I stress again that France, Germany, Italy and so forth are receiving more asylum seekers than we are. It needs to be a collective effort. We are doing more because we've spent so much time talking about Rwanda. We don't do enough to say what we're actually doing and achieving.
There you have it. And he is far from the exception when I listen to Conservative politicians. If he wants more refugees, then they should have thought about that before giving out millions of visas. We have already done our bit. We have taken in hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians and Hong-Kongers, people you never hear about because they integrated the minute they got off the plane, I might add. But what has Sudan got to do with Britain? Why is it our responsibility to take them all in? There's a civil war there with unspeakable atrocities being committed. And we are just going to let loads of Sudanese men come here illegally when we know nothing about them? He also forgot to mention France is a country with the same population as Britain but double the landmass. They think our island is one big refugee camp, forever banning on about safe and legal routes. We are already the second most densely populated big country in Europe after Holland, and yet we keep smashing immigration records every year. Rwanda probably won't work, it's a joke. This is what asylum seekers think of it.
Interesting question, Joe. Yes, we stopped at a little encampment area. People tend to camp in their nationality groups, and so we stopped and talked to a group of Somali migrants and some South Sudanese migrants and asked them about Rwanda. They had heard of this change in the law. They knew a little bit about it, but not the details. So they then started asking me questions about how the Rwanda plan that the government has announced would work. Some of them did not seem to know that if they made it to the UK and were taken to Rwanda, there was no option for them to apply for asylum in the UK. It would be for asylum in Rwanda. When I told them that, certainly eyebrows raised, and there were concerned discussions, but nobody said that this would change their intention of getting to the UK. In fact, one migrant told me if he got to the UK and attempts were made to remove him to Rwanda, he would try to kill himself. So that is what the government is dealing with. And I think the problem is for the people who've got as far as France, they've already invested considerable money potentially and certainly time and effort in getting there. Some journeys take 6, 7, 8 months, some of them even longer, and the conditions in the camp are not good. The French police move people quite regularly. Yes. The weather is bad. There are very few amenities. So that's the problem for the government in trying to dissuade them.
So they will just start blackmailing us into letting them stay. Basically, our asylum policy will be determined by them, not us. They get to come, and there is not a damn thing anyone will do about it. Just open borders to everyone and anyone. Millions can come, and it's our responsibility to house them all. Men like this lot telling a supposedly sovereign nation, we are coming to live in your country, end of story, whether you like it or not. I mean, what kind of scenes are these? We've seen the French authorities leave them to it to launch their boats. The migrants are more than happy to turn violent if anyone interferes. It's time to turn the boats back. That is the only way. Once we do that, these outrageous scenes will stop. Unfortunately, no mainstream politicians have the will or the belief to do it.